Hey United fans, big summer moves are coming and today's update is absolutely massive. We've got a midfield transfer war brewing, fresh updates from Fabrizio Romano and some huge decisions that could completely reshape Manchester United ahead of next season. Let's get straight into the breaking news. Romano has dropped a bombshell. United are now officially in a transfer battle with Manchester City for top midfield targets this summer. Both clubs are planning to sign one or even two midfielders, and this is where things get really intense. The first major name is Sandro Tonali. Romano confirms that Tonali is very high on United's shortlist. Contacts have already been made with his camp, and there is a real feeling that the Italian could be open to a new challenge if Newcastle United fail to secure European football. But here's the twist. City are also watching Tonali closely, while Arsenal are still in the race too. This is turning into a full Premier League tug-of-war for one of the best midfielders in Europe right now, and it doesn't stop there. Another huge target is Elliot Anderson. Right now, City are leading the race for the Nottingham Forest star, but United are pushing hard behind the scenes. This one could come down to who moves first and who is willing to pay close to that massive fee. Behind the scenes, Ineos are planning a complete midfield rebuild. With Casemiro already confirming he will leave the club, United are preparing to bring in two elite midfielders, potentially costing up to £100 million each. Now let's talk outgoings, because this is just as important. Reports suggest United are ready to offload several big names to fund this rebuild. Marcus Rashford could join FC Barcelona permanently for around £26 million, while Rasmus Højlund is attracting serious interest from Italy. Add to that Andre Onana and Joshua Zirkzee potentially leaving, and suddenly United are building a huge transfer budget for this summer. And don't forget, this is all happening under Michael Carrick, who is getting closer and closer to becoming permanent manager after an incredible run of results. Even club legend David Beckham has backed him, saying he's exactly what United need right now. So here's the big picture. Manchester United are preparing for one of their biggest transfer windows in years. A new midfield, major exits and direct battles with their biggest rivals for top talent. This is not just a rebuild, this is a statement. Now I want to hear from you. If you had to choose, who should United sign this summer, Tonali or Anderson? And do you think Carrick deserves the permanent job? Meanwhile, in other news, the permanent manager situation at Manchester United is approaching its resolution, and all the evidence points overwhelmingly in one direction. Reports this week confirmed that Manchester United have declined the opportunity to pursue two elite Spanish coaches for the permanent role, with the club's hierarchy having made the decision that Michael Carrick is their man. The permanent appointment is now expected to be confirmed before the end of the current season, a timeline that would give Carrick the security and the clarity he needs to fully commit to the summer transfer planning and to communicate to potential targets that he will be in charge of the project they are being asked to join for the long term. David Beckham added his voice to the growing chorus of United legends backing Carrick for the permanent role this week, and his words on TalkSport carried the weight of a man who understands this football club at its deepest and most emotional level. Beckham spoke about the last few months being considerably more comfortable than the previous 10 years, which is both an honest assessment of how far United had fallen and a genuine tribute to what Carrick has restored in such a short period of time. He praised Carrick's calmness, his knowledge of the club, his understanding of the players, and his instinctive feel for the way Manchester United should play. Beckham used the word elegance to describe the way Carrick carries himself as a manager, in how he celebrates, in how he gets angry, in how he presents himself to the world, and argued that all of these qualities are exactly what United needed after years of drama, chaos, and personality clashes that consumed the club from the inside. When a man who embodies what Manchester United represents at its very best tells you that someone is exactly right for the job, that endorsement carries genuine significance. The 10-game record tells its own story with a clarity that no pundit could dispute. 7 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss, a record that has taken United from 7th place in the table to 3rd, firmly in the driving seat for Champions League qualification. Wins over Manchester City, Arsenal, Fulham, Tottenham, Everton, Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, all achieved with the kind of tactical intelligence, the kind of organisational clarity, and the kind of collective belief that has been built from the ground up by a manager who was handed a broken squad in a broken environment and turned it into something genuinely formidable in a matter of weeks. United have missed out on Thomas Tuchel, who committed to England beyond the World Cup. They have cooled their interest in Carlo Ancelotti. The alternatives at the elite level are limited, and the candidate already in the building has produced a record that demands recognition. The job as good as his is the verdict of multiple credible sources, and the evidence of the past 10 games makes it almost impossible to argue otherwise. With the managerial situation approaching clarity, the transfer planning can accelerate properly, and the scale of what Ineos are preparing to invest this summer is genuinely staggering. Reports this week confirmed that United are preparing to pump in excess of £200 million into new signings, a figure that reflects both the financial uplift that Champions League qualification will bring and the specific vision of transforming this squad from one capable of finishing third or fourth into one capable of challenging for the Premier League title and making deep European runs consistently over the next several seasons. To fund that investment, United are offloading several players whose time at the club is clearly at an end, and the list of confirmed departures is extensive and expensive in terms of the sunk costs involved. After officially confirming that he will leave Manchester United at the end of the season, there is now a major development about his next destination, and it's a blockbuster one. According to Fabrizio Romano, Casemiro is now in talks to join Inter Miami. Yes, that means he could soon be playing alongside Lionel Messi. Just think about that for a second. One of the most decorated midfielders of his generation, linking up with one of the greatest players in football history, in a completely new environment. It's a move that feels massive, not just for Casemiro, but for the global football scene. And here's what makes it even more interesting. Casemiro is not short of offers. Clubs from Europe and Saudi Arabia are also pushing to sign him, but Inter Miami have already made a proposal and discussions are ongoing as he considers his next step. Meanwhile, despite all the transfer talk, let's not forget what he's still doing on the pitch. This season alone, Casemiro has made 30 Premier League appearances and scored 7 goals, showing just how important he has been to Manchester United, especially during this transition period. So while fans are preparing to say goodbye, he's still delivering when it matters most. But now his departure connects directly to everything else happening at the club. Because with Casemiro leaving, Manchester United are not just losing a player. They are losing experience, leadership and control in midfield. And that's exactly why moves are already being made. Because now Manchester United are not just looking to improve the midfield, they are forced to replace a leader. And that's exactly why TONALI is being targeted. He's strong, intelligent, calm under pressure, and already proven in the Premier League. He's the type of player who can control games and bring balance, something United have needed all season. But he's not the only option. United are also tracking Bruno Guimaraes, along with other midfielders like Carlos Baleba. The plan is clear. This is going to be a full midfield rebuild, not just one signing. And there's more. Now let's talk about outgoings, because this rebuild will also mean big exits. Jadon Sancho is leaving. That decision has been made. His time at United is over, and the club will let him go this summer. And then there's Marcus Rashford. Despite showing good form at Barcelona, it looks like his United career is also coming to an end. The Spanish club have an option to buy him, but financial problems could complicate that deal. If Barcelona don't pay, United are ready to sell him elsewhere, even to a Premier League rival. And with multiple clubs interested, this could turn into a bidding war. Then we have Rasmus Højlund, who is also attracting attention. Napoli are reportedly confident of signing him if they qualify for the Champions League. So when you look at the full picture, Casemiro is leaving, Sancho is leaving, Rashford is likely leaving, Højlund could leave. This is not just a transfer window, this is a complete reset, and leading this new era is one man, Bruno Fernandes. The captain has been incredible this season, carrying the team with goals, assists and leadership. United want him to stay and be the face of this rebuild, but even his future depends on one thing: progress. And right now, under Michael Carrick, progress is happening. United are winning games, climbing the table and pushing for Champions League football. The confidence is back. The belief is back. Now imagine adding a player like TONALI into that midfield. That could take this team to another level. So here's where we stand. Manchester United have made contact for Sandro Tonali. The player is open to the move. Casemiro is leaving, creating a huge gap to fill. And a full squad rebuild is now underway. This summer could define the next 5 years of Manchester United. So now I want to hear from you. Should United go all in for Tonali? Is he the perfect replacement for Casemiro? And who else should be part of this rebuild? Drop your thoughts below and don't forget to subscribe to United Focus for more breaking updates elsewhere. Since taking over, Carrick has transformed the mood, the results and the belief inside Old Trafford. United have tasted defeat just once under his leadership. Let that sink in. One loss, that kind of form has pushed them all the way up to 3rd place in the Premier League, and right now they are in pole position to return to the Champions League. And that is massive because not long ago this team looked miles away from competing at the top level. But now everything feels different. The players are confident, the system is working, and the results are coming. At the top of the table, Arsenal look set to finish as champions. They are currently leading the league and have built a strong advantage. Just behind them, Manchester City are expected to secure 2nd place, even if they haven't been at their absolute best this season. But the real battle is right behind them, and Manchester United are leading that fight. With Champions League qualification on the line, the race is tighter than ever. The top 4 guarantees a place in Europe's biggest competition, and even 5th place could be enough thanks to UEFA's coefficient system. That means United are in a strong position, but the pressure is still on because chasing them are Liverpool, Aston Villa and Chelsea, all fighting for those final spots. And just behind them, clubs like Brentford, Fulham and Brighton and Hove Albion are still dreaming of a late push into the top 5. So this race is far from over, but here's why Manchester United fans should feel confident. Under Carrick, United are not just winning games, they are controlling matches, creating chances and showing consistency. And that's something their rivals have struggled with. Liverpool, for example, have looked unconvincing at times this season. They can still pick up results, but their performances have not always been strong. Aston Villa have had moments of brilliance, but there are doubts about whether they can handle the pressure, especially with European football also in their schedule. And Chelsea? Right now, they look like a club in crisis. There are questions about the manager, the tactics, and even the dressing room atmosphere. That puts United in a very strong position. Many believe United will finish 3rd, and based on current form, it's hard to argue against that. The fixtures ahead are manageable, the squad is confident, and momentum is clearly on their side. And momentum is everything at this stage of the season. But the real drama could come in the fight for 4th and 5th. Liverpool could still push into the top 4, especially with players motivated to finish the season strong. Aston Villa are right there as well, but consistency will be key. Chelsea, meanwhile, might just hold on to a European spot, but it won't be easy. So if things go as expected, the final table could look something like this. Arsenal as champions, Manchester City in 2nd, Manchester United securing 3rd, Liverpool taking 4th, Aston Villa in 5th. But football is unpredictable. One bad result, one injury, one moment, and everything can change. That's why every single game from now until the end of the season matters. For Manchester United, the mission is simple. Keep winning, keep the momentum, finish the job. Because returning to the Champions League is not just about prestige. It's about attracting top players, building a stronger squad and taking the club back to where it belongs. And under Michael Carrick, that dream is starting to feel real again. So now I want to hear from you. Will Manchester United finish 3rd? Can they hold off Liverpool and Villa? And how far can this team go next season if they make the Champions League? Drop your predictions in the comments below. Moving on. Cole Palmer to Manchester United? Yes, you heard that right. Reports are now suggesting that the Chelsea star is becoming increasingly frustrated at Stamford Bridge and is open to considering a move to Old Trafford. The 23-year-old who came through Manchester City's academy has been one of Chelsea's brightest talents, but things are not going smoothly behind the scenes. Parma is said to be unhappy with tactical changes at Chelsea and has struggled with injuries this season. On top of that, there are concerns about the club's direction, especially if they fail to qualify for the Champions League. That could be the breaking point. And here's the key part. Manchester United are watching closely. If this opportunity becomes real, United could try to move quickly. Parma is young, creative, and already proven in the Premier League. He could be the perfect addition to a team that is trying to rebuild its attacking identity under Michael Carrick. But this is not the only big story developing, because at the same time, we've just received emotional confirmation from Casemiro himself. The Brazilian midfielder has officially announced he is leaving Manchester United. After everything he has given to the club, Casemiro confirmed that his decision is final. He spoke about the love from the fans and admitted that his final games at Old Trafford will be emotional. This is huge. Casemiro has been a leader, a fighter, and a key presence in midfield. But now his departure opens the door for a complete midfield rebuild, and United are already working on it. We've already heard about interest in players like Sandro Tonali and Carlos Baleba. And now there's even more movement happening across Europe. Because while United are planning their rebuild, their rivals are also making moves. Rodri could be heading to Real Madrid. Reports suggest that Madrid are pushing to sign the Manchester City midfielder as they look to replace legends like Toni Kroos and Luka Modric. Rodri is open to returning to Spain, and City are already preparing for life without him. And here's where it links back to United. Manchester City are now planning a massive midfield overhaul, targeting players like Sandro Tonali and Elliot Anderson in deals that could reach £190 million combined. That means United could face serious competition for their targets. Now let's bring it back to Old Trafford, because there's another interesting development involving Barcelona. Ferran Torres has been offered to Manchester United. Yes, this is part of a potential deal involving Marcus Rashford. As you know, Rashford is currently on loan at Barcelona, and the Spanish club has an option to buy him for around £26 million. But here's the problem. Barcelona are still struggling financially. They are now exploring different options, including extending Rashford's loan or restructuring the deal. And in order to make things easier, they have reportedly offered Ferran Torres to Manchester United. It's a fascinating situation. Torres has Premier League experience from his time at Manchester City, and he's had a strong season at Barcelona, scoring 16 goals in all competitions. United are said to be intrigued by the offer, but no final decision has been made. Meanwhile, Rashford himself has made it clear he would love to stay at Barcelona long term. He's enjoying the experience, learning a new style of football and improving as a player. But the final decision may come down to money. If Barcelona cannot meet United's demands, the club is ready to sell Rashford elsewhere, even to a Premier League rival. And with several clubs already interested, United could spark a bidding war and get a higher fee.